Look at this giant grass field with these mounds that are supposed to be, I guess, different kings and emperors are buried underneath them from different dynasties, I suppose, from the Silla kingdom. Wow, it's amazing. Got a nice breeze. It must be about like 78. At night it's about what time is it right now? Maybe 5 p.m. I'm gonna guess. Got these beautiful buildings with traditional Korean roofs. You get another grass field over here. I guess they were having some kind of activity. Then we're walking towards some direction where we're going to see another site. Look at this view. I did not expect to see all of this as you sort of walk around different corners and enter and exit different alleyways, and then you come through this and find this. A lot of different surprises. You find these beautiful open fields with ancient historical tombs alongside modern cafes and restaurants. Lots of people. I'm really surprised by how many people. A lot of local Koreans sort of visiting this historical area and sort of just bringing their kids here and teaching them about history. I believe these a lot of these historical sites from the Silla dynasty are over 2,000 years old. So we're talking about like the birth of Christ as far as the age of these sites. Wow, look at this. So this is the Cheomseongdae Observatory in Gyeongju. This stone structure is presumed to have been built during the reign of Queen Seondeok, 632 to 647, the 27th ruler of the Silla Kingdom, 57 BCE. Wow, even before Christ. Its name, Cheomseongdae, means platform gazing at the stars. And it is widely acknowledged to be the oldest surviving astronomical observatory in Asia. In ancient societies, tracking the movement of celestial bodies was of great political importance because astronomical observation served as a guideline for farming as well as means to foresee the country's fortune. There's a rest. And there it is, I think. This is the actual part or portion, I'm not sure, of the observatory. And all these places are basically free. Like, they don't even charge you for this. Does that mean, that I would say that's a recognition of a wealthy country, of a kind country, where they don't try to nickel and dime you for every little thing. They want you to learn about their history. They want you to learn about who they are. And they don't charge visitors, tourists to come here. They don't nickel and dime you with, tickets, whatever. They just ask you to come and see who they are and where they're from and what they're about. They're just sharing. And it's free. Yeah. So what that opening is apparently the front of this observatory plank. I'm not sure exactly what they did here or how they did it. Maybe they stood on the top or they went inside. I don't know exactly. This place has a really good mix of the old and the modern, meaning that you can check out many of these historical sites that are thousands of years old while enjoying many of the modern cafes and restaurants and eating and resting and hanging out. What I was surprised by, you'll be surprised when you go to a place somewhere like Paris, where you see Paris and there's really nothing to do around the area. It looks pretty dilapidated, old, run down. I don't know, I mean the Eiffel Tower is cool, but I mean when you get up close, it looks like rusted metal, and there really isn't anything to do right around the area. There's no places to eat, no restaurants or cafes. Look at this area. I mean, you can walk all the way down here and then across. Look at people just hanging out all day with their families. It's pretty cool. And you're right in nature. Luckily, there's no rain. you're kind of hanging out in nature and just sort of seeing the sights. Again, a nice combination of historical sites, and then when the kids get bored, you can take them to the local cafes and restaurants, treat them to candy, cookies, and all kinds of things. I think you can even get these little bikes you can kind of ride around. These bikes. That's kind of cool. Look at this flower garden. And people are just kind of hanging out and enjoying. The weather's nice. It's nice and cool. I think they're having a show over there. I can hear traditional Korean music. You hear that? They're yelling and screaming. I don't know if it's live or from a recording. But I hear something and they're getting louder. These little bunny statues. What are they made of? Oh, plastic. Little bunny statues. A beautiful field. Look at that. People just walking through the flowers in the field. Look at that. They're just walking through. I guess that's allowed. There's people bicycling. Look at this. Where else are you going to see this? Huh. Masa Togil. Oh, so here they're actually encouraging you to walk barefoot through this, through the sand. Look at this bridge. And then suddenly we see a little stream. Look at that stream. Wow, beautiful. So walking this route barefoot, I guess, is a traditional way to promote health. It's a form of grounding. Grounding. See, there's a sign there. It says Masa Togil. 100 meters. Barefoot walking. So this is an area where you come in after you've walked on the sand. You can come and wash your feet. And also there's a restroom. Look at this area, it's beautiful. Look at that tree, look at those trees. Huge, right on these mounds. And then there's a lake. Look at that lake over there. And this is where we just walked from, all the way from the other side. While the restaurants were and other historical sites. Look at the signage. Many places to go and walk. Look at this very cool looking modern bus. Maybe it's electric. Hongin Tourist Company. You know. Look at that Hyundai van. I've never seen a van look like that. That looks pretty modern and cool. The thing with sightseeing is that you're going to do a lot of walking. Make sure you got some good shoes, comfortable, it doesn't pinch your feet, pinch the side of your feet, inside of your feet, and you got to pace yourself. If you're on your feet too long, and then you're going to ruin the next day, and you won't have the energy to walk around the next day. Looks like to go to the Donggung Palace and Wolji Pond, Gyeongju, you gotta buy tickets. They're about $2, $2.50, $2 per person if you're a student. About $1.50, so it's not too expensive. And this is how the area looks. So you pay your ticket and you enter, and this is what you see inside. And what are we seeing exactly? I'm not sure. I guess this is a historical site. To the south of Wolji Pond, the sites of 13 buildings have been identified. They consist of 3 detached buildings, 2 long corridor buildings, an auxiliary building to a long corridor building, and 3 miscellaneous buildings. There are also several straight stone walls that are presumed to have been built before or at the same time as the buildings. Together with the finds to the west of the pond, a total of 31 building sites have been discovered at this historic site. This is not much information. It just says there's buildings. So this is 5:30 p.m. in Gyeongju, Korea. This is how it looks. A bit cloudy. There's been a slight drizzle, slight sprinkles, but weather is nice. It's a cool breeze. Here's a pond. So this must be a miniature, no, what is this? A miniature version of what? Not sure. Model of Donggung Palace and Wolji Pond. This model was produced by estimating and reducing the look of the palace regarded as Silla, Donggung Palace and Wolji Pond into 1/50th scale, verifying the remains such as the palace building, corridor, and garden with a pond according to the results of academic excavation research that took place over 2 years, 75 to 1976. 3 buildings close to the pond were estimated, restored, and the historic site was repaired from 1976 to 1980. The size of the model is 5.6 meters in width and 4 meters in length, composed of 13 buildings, 156 corridors, and garden with a pond. The historical research for design and production was based on the building site and building components verified by the excavation research. There it is. 1/50th scale. This exhibition at nighttime, the lights light up, and I guess people want to see that. It's supposed to have a nice, very nice look with the lights on the pond. It gives it a special feel, and people are here to see that. It's about 6:30 p.m. Took a cab back to our original location from the last site, and had an interesting conversation with the cab driver. He said that the crowd here is actually kind of moderate. It's even more crowded in the busy season, and he said something about like the housing here is the same price as in Gangnam because a lot of foreigners live here due to some kind of like car factory being right outside the city of Gyeongju. So they rent out a lot of the homes or buy a lot of the homes here. So home prices tend to be quite expensive here, he says. He says life here is pretty good. He lived in Seoul for like 30 years and now lives in Gyeongju. And he says here it's pretty good here. Oh, look at there's a restaurant here. Look at that. Some kind of pork restaurant. Yeah.
잠시 후 우회전입니다. 이어서 220m 앞 좌회전입니다.
길이 이렇게 됐어. 가다가 길이 이렇게 됐어.